What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Chesapeake Edition. I am your host, Casey Gilchrist. I know that I say that I'm excited for every single episode of this podcast, but we do have a very special and exciting episode this week, and that is the reveal of our small business COVID-19 recovery grant. And joining me on this week's podcast are two outstanding individuals, and I don't just say that because I work with them. They truly are outstanding. And one is a recurring guest, is Stephen Wright, director of our department, and the second is Miss Constantia Matthews. She is our department's management analyst, and she is the liaison that will be kind of overseeing and managing this grant program. So in this episode, we're going to go over how the program came about and what items that you're going to need to apply, who's eligible, who's not eligible. So we're going to unpack that all on the episode. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. All right, welcome back to the Chesapeake Edition, everyone. I get to talk to two outstanding people. One is my boss, so he signs my check, so I have to say that. And the other is my lovely coworker, Miss Constantia Matthews. So welcome to the Chesapeake Edition.
Hello.
You sound so excited. We have an exciting thing to announce to the world. We need to get more pep in our step. So we are thrilled that we're going to be talking to you guys about the Chesapeake Small Business COVID-19 Recovery Grant that our department recently launched this past week. And Stephen, of course, was behind the effort, and Miss Constantia, she is the main person in charge of the grant program from our office. So I figured we'd combine the minds and talk a little bit more about it. So let's just jump right in. Stephen, how did this program come about, and who's administering the program?
Well, I'll tell you, when COVID-19 hit our community, it was a very traumatic experience for a lot of businesses. This is something that nobody really saw coming. So businesses really couldn't prepare for it. I mean, this has never happened before. So a lot of businesses struggled with dealing with COVID-19. There were a lot of initial programs that were out in the marketplace. The federal government immediately put the PPP and EIDL program out there via the Small Business Administration to help businesses, particularly our small businesses, try to deal with this pandemic. In Chesapeake, we kind of sat back and we wanted to see how these federally funded programs were going to work, and if they were really going to give the level of assistance that our business community needed. But we knew all along that we were going to have to do something at some point in time. So once there were 2 rounds of the SBA funding, we realized that the city of Chesapeake needed to do something to help our business community. So we partnered with the planning department that administers the Community Development Block Grant Program from HUD at the federal level. And we identified a pot of money that was going to be able to be utilized to help small businesses weather this pandemic storm. So very recently ago, the city council appropriated about $445,000 for the EDA to utilize in creating a small business grant program. And the EDA is really the conduit, or the administrator, if you will, to get that money out into the business community. So we're really excited about the program because we know that there are a lot of businesses out there that are hurting, and this gives us an opportunity to directly meet that financial need.
And Stephen, for those who aren't familiar what the EDA is, the Economic Development Authority, who is that group of people?
Yes, thank you for that clarification, Casey. Yes, the Economic Development Authority is a group of 9 individuals. They are appointed by the city council, and really their role is to advise the city council and to a certain extent city staff on economic development issues. We've got a very dynamic group on the EDA: attorneys, bankers, small business owners, developers, retailers. We've got a little bit of everything there. So we've got an excellent group of individuals that we can lean on for expertise. And in the case of this grant program, we can lean on them to administer this program and again, get that money out into our community.
That's awesome. And 450,000 is what I heard.
It's just about $450,000 in CDBG money, or Community Development Block Grant money, has been allocated for this grant program, at least in the first phase. I will tell you that just 2 days ago, our City Council appropriated an additional $3 million for subsequent phases of the Small Business Grant Program. So $450,000 may not seem like a lot of money initially, but we've got $3 million coming on the heels of that, and we're going to be able to get that money out into the community as well and help small businesses.
That's outstanding news. And where can people apply, Constantia?
Great question, Casey. So our department actually has a website that we host a lot of information that we try to get out to the business community, and we have created a page within our website specifically for this program. So if you go to www.chesapeakeva.biz/recovery-grant, it will take you directly to the link to apply. At the top of the page, you'll see the guidelines of what the program is and how it's administered. And then if you scroll to the bottom, you'll actually see the application and will you input your information.
Okay, awesome. And what types of documents are needed for businesses to apply?
So we've tried to keep it as simple as possible, but get as much information as we can from the businesses to kind of see how COVID has impacted them. So there's basically 4 documents that you will potentially need. You'll need your most recent year-end 2019 financial statements, profit and loss, and balance sheets, and also your current year-to-date financials. And the purpose of that is just so we can compare where you were to where you are now and how that impact has affected your business. The next, you'll need your federal payroll tax forms from January to March 31st of this year, 2020. And then if you qualify as a SWAM certified business, we would ask that you would send us that and or your veteran status, your DD-214, so that we can use that to fulfill our preferences as well.
Awesome. It sounds easy enough, but if you guys didn't catch that, just go to the website. Everything that you need will be there in an easy to find fashion.
Casey, can I add something real quick? Constantia talked about 2 pieces of information, particularly the SWAM certification and your veteran-owned business certification. That's important because with the CDBG money, we're really focusing on or giving preference to a certain section of our business community. Any business in the city of Chesapeake can apply for this initial $450,000, but we're really trying to target, or I should say provide preference to SWAM businesses, to veteran-owned businesses, as well as businesses that are located within low to moderate income areas within the city. We're also targeting or providing preference to businesses that employ it, where they employ at least 50% of their workforce is low to moderate income as well. So you don't have to meet those qualifications in order to qualify, but with this initial round of funding, we are targeting and providing preference to those types of businesses. Now, the $3 million that we will have subsequently, we will still somewhat continue to target or provide preferences to those businesses, but it's going to be a much more wide open process.
All right, Stephen, that kind of leads me into another question. I know that you said SWAM eligible or certified and veteran eligible or certified. Do they get certified for veteran owned? I'm not sure. Yeah.
They have veteran preference or veteran status, so.
Gotcha. Okay. Who doesn't qualify for the program?
Well, I will tell you, any for-profit business will qualify. So that would negate any nonprofits or any charitable businesses. Unfortunately, they do not qualify for this program. We do know that they were eligible to receive funding through the SBA programs, both the Economic Injury and Disaster Loan Program, as well as the Payroll Protection Plan, or the PPP. So nonprofits were eligible for that round of funding. They are not eligible under the city's small business program. Additionally, I should also tell you, Casey, that this program is specifically targeted towards businesses that have not received PPP or EIDL monies. Because these monies ultimately come from the federal government, they don't want any double dipping. So as of right now, these small business recovery grant funds are only going to be made available to businesses that have not received any of the SBA funding.
Okay. And I know in some of the programs that the SBA administered, there were certain items that the funds could be used for. What are eligible items that this grant can be used for the businesses?
I'll take that question, Stephen. So this program is a reimbursement grant program. So you have to have certain eligible expenses that you have incurred during this pandemic. So I'll just kind of give the categories. So of course, your rent, lease payments, mortgage payments, any working capital expenses that you've incurred, inventory, supplies, with all of the cleaning and things that are necessary right now. Those expenses are included. Any marketing that you've had to do, all of those would be expenses that would be reimbursable and qualify you for this grant.
Awesome. Sounds like it can help a lot in for a lot of business cases. And
we hope so.
Yeah, and say business A applies today. When will they be notified that they've been either selected or that they'll be receiving funding?
So the program, the grant application closes on the 22nd of June at midnight. And so once that is closed, our Economic Development Authority committee will be reviewing the applications. We don't have a specific time frame right now as to how long our review period will take, because it's really going to depend on how many applications we receive. But for right now, we can say for sure that between a few days to a week is when we anticipate having the official grant awardees, and we anticipate getting the money out to you as soon as possible. I would like to say that if you are selected to receive a grant, that we will be asking you to send in a W-9 form, so that we make sure that all tax requirements are covered. And so once we receive that back, then we can get the funds out to you. So it's going to be, we'll announce that you've been awarded, and then you have to send us that information back.
Okay, easy enough. All right. And if you guys have any questions, I would just encourage you to visit our website. Again, that website link is chesapeakeva.biz/recovery-grant. And all the information that we've reviewed here on this video will be there. And if you have any questions, feel free to sign up for a Chesapeake chat, and I'll put you in contact with one of our business development managers, or Stephen or Constantia, whoever is available at the time that you select. So do you guys have any parting words that you want to share to the podcast audience?
Go ahead. You go ahead.
I'd just like to say, we're really excited that we're able to do something for our community. It's really impacted the world in a way that none of us expected, but to be able to do something for the place that we call home it makes us feel like, our mission is being completed.
And I'll just say kudos to Casey and Constantia, particularly Constantia. She's really taken the lead on this program. But we wouldn't be able to provide this resource and these monies to the community without the leadership from our mayor and city council, and certainly our city manager as well. They were instrumental in making sure that there were ways for us to get this federal money and get it out into the community where it can do the most good for the city of Chesapeake. So we want to send kudos out to our leadership here in the city as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me to give additional information about the grant program. Hope you guys are staying safe and have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll be chatting soon.
All right. Take care.
All right.